Hey, how is everyone doing here in Team Effort Network? We're at the beginning of another beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, prosperous, healthy week. How was everyone's weekend? Did you get your goals accomplished? Did you get done what you wanted to get done? Well, if not, today is a new day, new beginnings. Let's get it started, family. You have dialed into the Team Effort Lifestyle Call. This is your host, Pastor Denise McDowell, along with my business partner, DCQ, qualified one-star Pastor. Oh, let me continue to say executive founding member. We keep leaving it off. Executive founding member, Pastor Del Wafer. Family, the line is open. Please go right ahead. Introduce yourself and let us know where you are calling in from.
DC in the house this morning.
Carolina. Dallas, Allen, Atlanta. Atlanta's in the house. Welcome. Keep it coming. St. Louis is with us. All right.
Marshall, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome to the call. Who is with us, family?
Washington, D.C., Robert Smith in the house.
Woo-hoo. Hey,
back from Cancun, Mexico.
I said Cancun, Mexico. Come on now. Come on now.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful time. Beautiful time. Beautiful time.
Welcome. With us, family. Keep it coming. What's with us this morning, family? Keep it coming. Welcome, family. This is
Hayward, California.
All right. California being represented. Welcome to the call. How are you this morning?
Oh, fantastic.
Woo. Good to hear. Good to hear. Come on, family. This is with us this morning. Go right ahead and introduce yourself.
Millionaire in the making, Sheila Taylor McDuffie, Atlanta, Maryland.
All right, Miss Millionaire in the making. What's going on, Miss Sheila McDuffie?
Everything.
It's going on fast, isn't it, Sheila?
Yes, it is.
It's fast or what? It's happening fast.
It's happening. It's good. All is well.
That's right. Good to hear this morning. Who else is with us? Go right ahead and introduce yourself.
Nikisha Melford, Berkeley, California.
Nikisha, welcome to the call. How are you?
Fabulous.
Woo, love it. Who else is with us, family? Go right ahead and introduce yourself.
Vicky Soto, Louisville, Kentucky.
Vicky Soto, how are you, Vicky? Executive founding member of 10. How's it going, Vicky?
It's going great. Looking forward to an awesome week.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? If you're looking forward to an awesome week, then that means you're going to have an awesome week.
No doubt.
You know, you get what you expect, right? Sometimes even greater. Come on, friend. I'm going to meet out in just a second with us to introduce yourself. Where you calling in from? Okay.
The conference is now in presentation mode. Your line is muted.
Well, welcome, family. So good to hear you all this bright, early Monday morning. It's another beautiful day. Another great things are expected to happen in your life. Isn't it good just to be in a position of favor? You know, when you're in a position of favor, just wonderful things just begin to happen. You just open your mouth, you speak it, before you know it, it's there. So keep it, family. Keep up the great work. Continue to share what's happening in Team Effort Network, because it is needed. It is necessary wherever we go. Whenever we talk about the vitamin sprays, people's ears are open and their hands are out to receive what it is you have. Do not do yourself a disadvantage by not sharing what you're doing and what's happening here in Team Effort Network. Well, we had a spectacular weekend this weekend, Pat. I'll bring on my business partner at this point so I get into what we did this weekend. Pastor Del Wafer, executive founding member. Are you there, sir?
I am. I'm here. Ready to rock.
You know, I have to remember, I keep forgetting, we have to add that title to us here on Team, because, you know, you are an executive founding member, as well as a few others that we know of, and we have this wonderful promotion that's going on right now to give so many others that same opportunity to wear that title. And it's a joy to know that you can say you are an executive founding member in 10. Before we get started, with the weekend, I just want to remind everybody that promotion is still on the table. You have until the 31st of this month to gain that title and also win a $1,000 bonus as you walk across the stage in Las Vegas at our 1-year birthday celebration. So you know what it is. You know what you have to do. 2 new business partners, and that started September the 27th. So from September 27th until October 31st, 2 new business partners on the diamond package, and help those 2 new business partners, place one on the left, one on your right, help them to become executives, and you win that title. So pass it down. How was the weekend, man?
Wow, all I can say is it was so exciting seeing our family down in North Carolina in Greensboro. We had a great Super Saturday and had a great turnout, and it was an amazing time. We did some powerful training, and, I think, we're going to be seeing some hundreds of more people coming in from North Carolina because these guys are pumped up, excited, they're ready to go, and we just had a fabulous time.
They really did. And they had a wonderful turnout. They had giveaways and door prizes, and the atmosphere was just incredible. We had some family that came in from Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, they did. They joined us at the North Carolina team for the training, and it was just beautiful. Fat Low, thank you so very much, you and Ed, for doing such a wonderful job hosting the event. Cheryl Church and Nina and Christy. It was just Juanita. It was just good to see everyone in the house being a part of this big event, and it was just a great thing. And they are on fire. Where did they go? They took notes, and they had we did a wonderful opportunity presentation for them. They had guests in the house. I understand just what every guest that was there signed up, Pastor Dale. I see they're still posting on Facebook, all the ones that signed up from the event.
Yeah. I went around and talked to the guests that were there, and there were people raising both hands for applications, and saying, "I'm in, I'm ready to go. This is all I needed to hear." And so they definitely have a lot of new members in the family of 10 as of this weekend. And the guests were some pretty sharp people, too. You got a chance to talk to some of them, and they were really, really sharp guys and gals, and really was ready to get to work, roll up their sleeves, and go for it. And Cheryl Church and Pat Lowe and Ed, they did a wonderful job hosting this, along with their key leaders like Melissa and Nina and a number of other ones that you already mentioned. Just did a great, great job. I always like going to North Carolina because they just do things really at such an excellent level. And like you said, they had giveaways, and they had some music, funky music. Man, they was doing all kind of things on there. It's just really, really a joy to just go into different regions and connect with different cultures of people. It goes back to what you always said on the call about, the amazing opportunity to meet different people in this business. We got a chance to meet some exciting people just by being in part of 10. And that alone is just very, very, I would always say, a prosperous journey. Because, these are people that, normally probably would have never met. And now to know that these are people that are working together, helping you and I to build this company, be brand ambassadors, this was just really, really a fantastic time to be a part of them.
And it really is. And they had some wonderful testimonies. My goodness, testimonies just had me floored. And we're going to bring some of those testimonies to the call this week. Just some wonderful testimonies. There was a lady there from Kenya, and I thought that was beautiful because she's building her and Ed and Pat and the lady from Kenya are building a home for homeless children in Kenya. And it was beautiful to have her there and to share that. If I'm not mistaken, Pat, today, I think this may have been her first time seeing the opportunity presentation, and she was simply floored. Her hand was the first hand to go up for an application. She's like, I can't believe this. So I think that vision of having a home built in Kenya, I know she sees it really manifesting a lot sooner than she thought.
Well, yeah, her name is Purity, and Purity was just really a precious woman who just loved kids, and they have a number of kids over there now, and close to 100 kids that they're taking care of in Kenya that have been, I won't say abandoned, but really homeless as a result of their parents dying of AIDS. Kenya is one of the hot spots for the AIDS, HIV, and AIDS virus. And she has such a great vision, and she showed us some of the things that they were doing over there, and really excited about the vision she had of, building a campus for these kids. And she has some amazing jury. I was just floored by the jury she brought back from the ladies in Kenya, and make this jury out of paper, guys. It's made out of paper. And it was some beautiful stuff. We're really going to have her on as well to just kind of share what's going on, because, if that's a great vision to have. But one of the things that I just saw when we were presented, and I didn't know she wasn't in the business until I asked for, all the people who are in the business to stand up, and she didn't stand up. And I looked and said, "Why aren't you standing?" She said, "Well, I'm not in the business." She said, but I'm going to be in the business after the day. And it was really exciting to see, wow, but as you and I were doing the presentation, I just kind of noticed her among other people, and she had that wow factor. She had that wild look. She had the wild look upon her, I think she really saw the vision, of not only, what others can help her do to raise up the money for that mission, but she also saw that this is an opportunity for her to make some serious money to help with that mission as well. So there was a lot of people with the eyes wide open. This is one of the meetings I didn't see anybody dozing off and sleeping. I mean, it was just everybody was locked in, ready to get as much as they could possibly get, and really excited about it.
It was wonderful. The beauty part about it, I love when people come in at the beginning of a presentation and say, well, I can stay for a little while, but I can't stay for the whole thing because I have other commitments. And you look around and they're the last ones to leave. That's when you know.
Yeah, right. I know, right. Yeah, they get captivated by what this team 10, this company 10 is offering, and they just I can't leave right now, and they can't leaving right now, and the next thing you know they've stayed for the whole thing. So yeah, it is, and we have a great opportunity and a great company, and people are really starting to see that. When they sit down and sit before this presentation. That's why it's so important, guys, to get as many people. You got to get them in a chair and get their eyeballs on this presentation. The calls are tools that we can use to help and aid with that. But I just find that unless somebody gets in the room and feel the synergy and the excitement and passion and see this powerful presentation. Your opportunity to influence them about this business and for them to see the power of this business, the opportunity just goes through the roof, because it just has so many dynamics that are taking place at the same time when somebody is in a room watching the presentation.
Well, Donna, we have a good thing. We have what is needed. We have something that really is, like Nell said, very unique, very convenient, and very on time. We have beautiful vitamin sprays that are making a tremendous difference in people's health. I keep hearing reports from some of my business partners who have their friends or their work co-workers on the sprays, and they're coming back to them saying, you know what, I went for my physical. My doctor said this is the best physical, the best checkup I've had in years. And we're hearing that people going to the doctors and having their yearly exams, and the doctors are like, wow, whatever you're doing, you need to keep doing, because you have the best vital signs. Your blood pressure is normal. Everything is just coming back good. So, and that's just good to hear. It's just good to hear that this is some people that are not in the business, but they're just taking the sprays, and they're getting reports from their doctor saying, you are doing good. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So continue to share them. Now, as you know, this is Monday morning, and we have our coach, Nikisha, that comes on every Monday morning to just, pump us up, get us ready for the week, give us some tools we can put in our toolbox, get us focused on the week. So you can set your goals at the top of the week, and they should give you the right tools to show you how to accomplish those goals. So make sure you have pen and paper when you come to this call, because you are going to hear something that's going to move you from facts to faith to action. And let's put it to action, because it's not going to work unless you put it to action. So let's bring to the call our coach, Nikisha Bond. Nikisha, are you there? Hello. Can you hear me okay? Yes, we can. How are you this morning?
I am doing fabulous.
That is great. Now, you have a TTP. Was it this weekend in California? Did you have a TTP?
It was this weekend in California. We did have a TTP. It was a great event, like Pastor Dale said. There's nothing, a couple of the guests we have been talking to for actually probably over a year now about the opportunity. And some things changed in their lives. They were just in different spaces, and so they came out and support. And it's very interesting. You know, you always got to make sure that you're following up with people and just continue to kind of put them in your drip file of follow-up, because you never know when things change in people's lives, and all of a sudden they didn't need an opportunity 6 months ago, but today an opportunity looks like something that they desperately need. So that was something that was really exciting to see.
Oh, Nikisha, now that is something that you said that, because I'm telling you, look, before you get started, Pastor Dale, did we not just hear that? And when we were there in North Carolina, that someone said that God had told them about this phrase and didn't do a follow-up. Did we hear something similar to that this week?
Yeah, we had that, but we also had where someone was going to the same church with somebody who didn't share it with them, and then somebody else shared it with them, and they came into business, and all of a sudden the guy was like, well, wait a minute, you're at my church. Why didn't you share this with me? So yeah, you're absolutely right. We've heard both cases like that this week as well.
We really did, but this one particular guy, I remember, I won't forget, his name was Lawson. Lawson was approached by this phrase by someone, I don't know, I guess it was several months ago. I think they may have mentioned it then. And then I think another person mentioned it to him, and then I guess at that point he was interested in the business and had come in and signed up. But I can't remember exactly how. I don't know whether the person just asked him about this phrase, or maybe gave him this phrase to try, but I guess did not tell him about the business of it. And then
No, they did. They told him about the business, told him what it was, and he was, and Lawson wasn't interested. He had his hands involved in something else. And, months later, somebody else told him about the business, and he looked into it, got excited about it, and joined the business. And come to find out, the other person hadn't followed up with him after a few months, and this other person did. And his life, his station, as Nikisha said, station in life changed. Opportunity was more real for him then.
Wow. Coach Nikisha, tell us what you're supposed to do to prevent that from happening.
Well, I actually didn't take a training for follow-up today, but I should have. But you know what? There are lots of tools out there that you guys can use, and maybe we can go over that if you don't mind, Pastor Means. Maybe next week I can do a training on follow-up so we can get really into details about it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing
that's
too.
What you have today.
Okay, perfect. So what happened at the TTP party actually spurred this training. So one of our guests asked, after the whole presentation was done, we talked about the products, we talked about the opportunity, and they asked, how am I supposed to explain this to people? And it really made me stop and pause, because I explain it all the time, so I kind of get used to it. So sometimes I don't realize, how I sound or what people think when they hear the presentation from me. And I'm sure a lot of other leaders come into that. And what that means is that guests and prospects are always looking at what you're saying and what you're doing and trying to make a decision whether or not they can do what you're doing. So we're going to talk a little bit about how can you present the products and the opportunities in a way that's really simplified for people so that they can understand what's going on and they can feel like this is something that I can do. I can actually do this. And then even if, let's say, that your presentation is amazing and absolutely, jaw-dropping, which a lot of them out there are. I've seen them. And let's give our new distributors some tools that they can use and something that we can tell them to let them know, yes, you can do this, because you're going to be in business for yourself, but you're never going to be by yourself. So that's really, really important. That's probably one of the number one reasons why people are afraid to go into business, because they don't know what to do. They're afraid of the unknown. They think that I want to start a business. I know that I'm capable of doing it, but I don't know. What happens if I have questions? Who do I go to? What happens if I run into a part that I'm not familiar with? What am I supposed to do? And so we have to teach our new distributors some of these tools so that they can feel confident when they go out there in the field. So we're going to break this training into 3 sections. One, we're going to talk about the products, then we're going to talk about the opportunity, and then we're going to talk about tools that we can use. Okay, so I'm using this from Nikisha Bond's perspective. So this is not to say somebody else's perspective. If you heard somebody else's presentation and said, well, I like the way that Pastor Dale does that a lot better than Nikisha, then I say go ahead and use Pastor Dale's method. Don't worry about that. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just going to kind of give you some of the things that I've learned that I found to be effective in some of the presentations that I've done. So when you're talking about the product, don't get caught up into the details. There's only about 15% of the population that's going to want really specific details. Really what people want to hear is they want to hear the stories. And this is really hard for me because my personality is not necessarily 100% stories. I want to know how it does, did it really work, and okay, let's move on from there. But a lot of people want to hear stories about how this has affected you. They want to hear stories about how this has affected other people, what other sprays that they use. One of the other things that people like to hear is what sprays do I use for what? That's a really key one. That people don't know, because when they're first coming into the business, even though there's 5 different sprays, the gamut of different testimonials that we're able to give from just 5 sprays is absolutely astounding. And so when you're going through all the testimonials and you're having people stand up and you're showing some of the videos of the testimonies that are on YouTube, you're telling about your own testimonies. I can use the Super 10 spray and it helps me with my acid reflux. Other people can use the Super 10 spray and it helps them with menopause. Other people can use it, it helps them with inflammation. Other people can use it, it helps them with digestion. For a new person coming into the business, that can be really overwhelming. Like, how can this one spray do so many different things and so many different people? So you want to make sure that you're telling the stories and you're actually giving them tools, and we'll talk about one of the tools that we can use to help when people are asking about what sprays go with what. And one of the things you have to realize is this is on-the-job training. And so this is one of the few industries that you can actually come into it and learn while you earn, which is really, really exciting. So you're going to want to make sure you write down that phrase. You're going to be learning while you're earning. People are going to come in, they're not going to know anything, and you're going to take them under your wing and you're going to show them. How do you learn about all these stories? How do you hear about all these testimonials? Is there somewhere where I can go? Are they all written down somewhere? I try to go and find all the testimonials that we've all given and write them all down. There's so many testimonials, you guys. There's no way to even capture them all. That's how many there are. But the best way to do it is to get on the calls. Daily calls, weekly calls, big events. You're always going to hear a new story from a new person, a new perspective, or a story that maybe you've heard before, but maybe it's changed over time because more things have gotten better in their health. These are all the things that you're going to use. So that's the reason why daily calls are so important. And that's the reason why it's so important to get new people plugged into these daily calls, because that's where they're really going to learn about what these products do and how they affect people. You can go online and Google glutathione. You can look at the back of the spray. You can Google all those ingredients and find out all the specifics. And I recommend that you do. You want to make sure that you get very, research. You want to make sure that you research these ingredients, that you research the products, because you're going to find new things every single time, and it's going to help enhance. And when people are talking about some of the things that they're going through, you're going to have more knowledge about what sprays are going to be helpful for them. So these are all tools that you can use when you're talking about the products. But the main thing is that facts tell and stories sell, and they really do. And I'm not saying, a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, Nikisha Bond wasn't one of those people who thought that stories sold, but they really do sell to the majority of people. So you want to make sure that whatever event you're at, whatever TTP you're at, whatever one-on-one meeting or three-way call you're at, that you always interject some stories into the Garcinia cambogia, African mango, Super 10 oxidants. Make sure that you throw some stories in there, because that's really what people are grabbing onto. Now let's talk about the opportunity. Okay, so, I'm running out of time. Okay, so the opportunity. Simple, 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 simple. Now, you got to hear Mel say this at a big event, because he, Mel Gill, he's our CEO, owner, he can just say this with such ease and such grace, and it's just so simple, and it just gets you so stirred up. I'm not that guy. I'm not Mel Gill. I can't do that. But I can just tell you exactly how I break it down, which seems to help for people. So let's talk about the 4 sections that you break it down to. So there's your fast starts. So your fast starts are When 2 people join, you get $50 for each one of those. When they get 2 people, you get $25 for each one of those. And when you get that scenario, you become an executive, which means that you make another $100. So that's a total of $300 that you've made, and those are what I consider fast starts. So when you're telling people a good story to interject is Mel and Amy's story. When they first got into the business, they were working hard, and they came away with a check for like $16.84, and they didn't want that to happen to anybody else. That's a great way to throw a story in there to see why this compensation plan was organized the way that it was. So those are your fast start bonuses. After that, you want to tell people this is a dual core double binary, which means you get paid on people who are joining the business, but you also get paid on residual income, people just using the products every month. And here's a key point. Let people know that this is one of the few companies that you will find that whether or not people grow their business, they continue to use their sprays long after they join. This is key because you can't create passive residual income unless people continue to use your products over and over and over again. And that's a highlight because one of the things that one of our guests asked was that he was looking at a couple different opportunities, and one of them was Legal Shield. Oops, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to say other people's names. Okay, it was a legal company. Sorry about that. And he said, I could see that, the idea of needing a lawyer makes a lot of sense, but it's kind of like insurance. A couple months of paying for that, and you may realize you didn't need a lawyer as much as you thought you needed a lawyer. I'm not knocking Legal Shield. It's I don't know very much about it. I'm not even knocking it. This was just his perspective, and it just made me think that that's why our products are so powerful, because you will be using your products long after if you decide not to run the business, which attrition is a part of the business. We have to, face that. If you don't know what attrition is, it just means that people who join the business, they're really excited, and you give people about 90 days. If they last 90 days, you're going to have them for a while. If they quit within 90 days, that's called attrition. And so even if they do leave the business, they're still using the sprays, which means you can still get paid. That's why the dual core double binary is so important. I know I'm talking fast, you guys. I'm sorry. I can just feel myself talking fast, and people are probably just writing down notes. Okay, so number 1 was fast start bonuses. It was like the number 1, 2, and 3 way of getting paid. Number 2 is your wealth building cycle. These are the cycles where 2 and 4 people join your organization, and you get paid $100 plus a 50% match, which is a total of $150. It's always important that you interject that plus 50% match, because when people are going through and you say 10 ways of getting paid, one of the ways is that 50% match. So I always say you want to make sure that you include that in there. So the great thing about the wealth building cycle is this is going to make you very, very wealthy, because there is no bottom. You continue to get paid the $150 every time 4 and 2 people join your organization. So now you want to expand your prospect's mind. Think about that. We're already in 50 or 70 different countries, and we're opening up new countries all the time. So you probably know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's in one of those countries. And it doesn't even matter where they come from, because the infrastructure that we've created allows you to get paid no matter who joins your organization, very seamlessly. And so you can have people from now until the end of time joining your organization. You're still going to get paid on that bonus all the way up to $33,000 a week. And remind them, that's $33,000 a week. And this is not theory. This is always a good point to remind people. This is not a theory. This is something that's already been happening for the past 11 years in Team Effort International with our sister company. So they've already had this compensation plan tried and true. It's also a good point to bring up the statistics in network marketing. Most network marketing companies fail within the first year. We've been around for 11 years. That's huge. And we're launching a new product, and we just started in February. And so these are all things that you want to bring back to them so that they can see how rare this ground floor opportunity is. Okay, the next one is number 3 is passive residual income. This is a good point to hone in on your prospect's hot button. So you probably, if you're giving the presentation or you're doing a one-on-one or doing a 3-way call, this is where you want to bring back into whatever it is that prompted them to start this business. One of our guests said, they got a divorce and they're looking to transition out of being in the Navy, and they don't know what they're going to do when they make that transition. And so this is the point where you can start to tell the story of creating passive residual income and what that can do for you. And the key word for that is freedom. it allows you to do whatever it is that you want to do, because this is a vehicle that's going to take you to wherever you want to go. And that's really what people are looking for. You know, some people are going to come in and they're professional network marketers, right? But the thing I love about this particular compensation plan is that Mel and Amy made it so that people could feel safe coming back in. Someone who is new to network marketing, and these are all key phrases that you want to make sure you share with your guests, your prospects. They wanted to make it safe for people to come back into network marketing. They wanted people who had no experience to be able to come in and earn a residual income check. So now that they go and live the life that they want to live, most people have not stopped to think of what their dreams were. In fact, you know, one of our guests was saying, you know, I don't know, I guess I just want to pay off some bills. That's a person who probably is not really stopped and thought about their dreams. And what you're going to do when you're starting to talk about this is the point where you're opening up their mind and expanding their mind to say, what would you do if you had an extra $2,500 a month? How would you live your life? What are the things that you would incorporate? What are the things that you love to go and do? And, you know, how would you spend your time? Because these are the things that are going to be part of their why. So when they join your organization, you're going to know a little bit more about them so that, you know, if things get down or they get discouraged, you can always bring that back up to them. So that's passive residual income. A good one to show is the check on is the chart. There's a chart in your back office. There's a chart on the PowerPoints that just kind of shows if you cycled so many times how much money you're going to make. When you start to get into this is what your auto ship needs to be, and you get 1 point for this and 2 points for that, it gets very confusing for people at that time. So I found that when you simplify it and you talk about what the benefits of passive residual, I learned this from Barry Hackle, when you talk about the benefits of what passive residual income can give for people, they see it a lot more clearly in their mind. And then number 4 is the lifestyle. This whole thing is all about creating lifestyle. And this is where you can bring in the car bonuses. It's always good to say that for around 75 people, you can earn 75 people who join your organization, you can earn $600 monthly in a car bonus. Or imagine if you doubled that, you can earn $1,200 in a car bonus. And think about it. There's a lot of organizations where you need 10,000 people to even qualify. This is also a great time to bring up the story. This is why, again, you know, this is all the stuff that I learned over the time listening to all the different presentations. You know, Mel put out a challenge. I'll give you $10,000 if you can find a better car program, and nobody has been able to rise to that occasion. So that's a great one to just kind of reinforce that this is really a rare opportunity. And then you can kind of throw into the executive bonuses and just say, you know, bonuses on top of bonuses. And, you know, if you earn $25,000 a week as a 10-star executive, you're going to get $25,000. That's $50,000 in 1 week. How many people make $50,000 in 1 week? And so that's how you kind of wrap it up. And then you can start to tell them, you know, for less than $400, you're going to receive $600 worth of product, and you're going to be invited into the fold, and we're going to give you training, and we're going to give you this. This is where you want to say that that $400 of initial investment is giving them product, first of all. It's allowing them to get indoctrinated into the system, and that we're going to provide all of this training so that they're starting to see a lot of value for that $400. You definitely want to make sure you tell them that it's $400. Sometimes I'll forget in my presentations. I always have to be reminded. But you want to make sure that there's a lot of value behind that. And you want to give them some type of perspective. The perspective I give people is that, and you guys can use this story, when we started our business, we had to use, I don't know if you guys know this, we sell synthetic turf. But when we started our business, we had to pay an entry fee, too, to become a licensee, become a distributor. It was $2,500. And the only thing they did was give us a nice certificate and a phone number and said, here, you can call us if you want to order some product. They didn't give us any product. They didn't give us any help. They didn't give us any support. But any business that you join, you're going to have to pay money, whether you're starting a business, where you start building a building, whether you're having to get inventory, or you have whatever you're going to do, whatever business you're going to do, you are always going to have an entry fee. The thing about network marketing that makes it key is that it allows for everyday people to basically buy $1 million franchise for a fraction of the cost, and that's really what people are paying for. And they're mostly just paying for products. So you want to make sure that you put that in there, that you're not just saying, oh, $400, because then people are saying, well, why am I giving you $400? People who haven't been in business, especially, that's a key point that they don't understand. So we have to always explain that, because you're going to be dealing with some business owners, and some people aren't business owners. Oh, my gosh, I'm running out of time. Okay, I'm going to totally speed read through the last of this. Okay. So here's some key phrases that you want to make sure that you throw in there when you're talking. One is you only need 2 to be lifetime qualified. That's huge, because there's so many companies where they got to jump through hoops and go all around the rigmarole just to be qualified, especially when they get to the different levels. So 2 is your lifetime qualified. Safe to come back into network marketing is a great phrase, because a lot of people have been in network marketing before, a lot of people that you might not even think, and so you want to make sure that you let them know that it's safe for them to come back in. Passive residual income. That's key, because that is talking about their dreams and saying this is a vehicle to drive you to your dreams. So you want to make sure that they know that they're creating passive residual income. You don't have to trade your time for money anymore. That's another key phrase. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. We're here to help. And tell them how we're here to help. There's 10 ways of getting paid, and freedom. That's probably the most important thing. This is going to allow you to have the freedom to live the life that you've always wanted to live, and not have to always do things that you have to do. When you talk to people, I have to go to work, I have to go here, I have to go here, I have to do that. This is going to allow you the freedom to say, I'm going to get up and do this because I want to. I'm going to go and do that because I want to. And so that's going to be really key. Okay, so some tools to help new distributors. Most of these you've already heard before, so I don't have to go into details. Number 1, I got 3 of them, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Number 1, remind new distributors they're in business for themselves, but not by themselves. So we always have 3-way calls. We have presentation help, daily calls, weekly calls. Presentation help is huge, because when people see you do a presentation, especially because I noticed that people who are good at presentations usually do them all the time. So that's another thing. You want to get other people up there, who feel comfortable to give the presentation, to let people know that, yes, you can do it. But if you can't, if you look at it, because, I think one of the number 1 fears is people would rather die than speak in public. They don't want to get up there, and they don't want to do that. So let them know that we're going to be here to help them. You're always going to have someone who will be able to do a presentation for you. And if it's not you yourself, you can always hook them up with someone in the organization. That's the one thing I love about Team Effort Network. I can call any of the leaders, and it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if I'm on their team. No one's ever asked me if I'm on their team, and they will help you do a presentation or do a 3-way call. And so that's why, again, you go to the big events so you can connect with these people, so you have lots of tools in your toolbox. Number 2, don't overwhelm people. When people are just hearing about the system, you're talking about residual income, cycles, they're getting so much information. So you just want to keep it really, really simple. The products work. Look at the testimonies. Teach the system. Reach 2 and teach 2. I'm going to help you get your 2, so you don't have to worry about you getting your 2. That's going to be my job. I'm going to help you get your 2. Remember, whenever you're talking about this presentation, it's never about you, like you as leaders on the phone. It's always about them. Never about you. It's always about them. They should never see you at the top of the tree. They should always see them. So you always want to make sure you talk to them in that way. And the system is not. That's the whole point. The system is not about you. And so when you're talking, it's not about your dreams. It's about their dreams. When you're talking about, it's not about your success. It's about their success. It's not about your goals. It's about their goals. Especially when you're in a presentation. So make sure it's not about you. It's about them, and you don't want to overwhelm people. And then number 3. Offer training after your event if you don't do so already, or at least explain this is the type of training that we give. We have a welcome package that's on Facebook. I don't know if you guys are using that, but it's got a great letter in there. People like to get something when they first join, right, because it makes them feel better. It's going to be a couple of days before they get their sprays, so the least you can do is just start with the welcome package. Have a meeting with them. Say you're going to explain things in more detail. You're going to help be there to answer any questions. Really just let them feel like they're going to be a part of the team. Because if we just recruit people and bring them in, they'll be out as soon as they're in. We have to sponsor people and really be invested in their success. So I'm sorry I went over Pastor Dale and Pastor Denise. I hope that was helpful to somebody. I just thought that it was really interesting when I got asked those questions, because sometimes, I don't think about it. And I think some of us as leaders, we don't think about it too, but we always have to be in mind that there's going to be someone new out there, someone who's never heard this before. And we want to make sure that we get them into the system and we get them planted so that they can grow. Back to you.
Oh, no, Nikisha, I think that is great. Wonderful, wonderful bullet points. Another great reason that it's important that you share what you did share, because as we grow in the business, there's some things we tend not to mention anymore because we've gotten so familiar. So all the new business partners that are coming in, we don't really fill them in. So, and this is the great thing about the call. We can remind ourselves the things that we need to tell our new business partners. This would be a very good call for everyone to listen to, especially if you're growing a team. And if you've had a lot of new business partners to come aboard, this would be a good call for you to get and listen to it again to make sure you've covered all these points with your new business partners, because you're going to want them to cover those same points with their business partners. And I love what you said about the compensation plan. Yes, it's about the business itself. Yes, it's a $400 investment. But the beauty of that, and we need to not overlook mentioning this when our business partners, when you're prospecting, that yes, it's a $400 investment, but you get over $600 worth of products to get that back. And I just think that is the beauty about this. Yes, you make that investment, but the company turns right around giving you 23 sprays for you to retail at whatever price you want, getting you that investment back right away, also give you enough to pay for your monthly auto ship 30 days later, and even extra money for you to buy a new pair of shoes or a dress or something. So that's just the beauty behind this business. You just cannot lose. You win, no matter what. Thank you, Coach Nikisha. Great tips for today. Pastor Dale, are you there? Anything with Nikisha before we close the call?
Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah, I am. Yeah, definitely. All great points, as always. Nikisha just laid this thing out. But you're right. You know, you get that welcome package, and you start working that welcome package. It's laid out in that, welcome package email. What you do in the next 24 hours, 72 hours. If you just follow the system in play, more people will be successful because there's a system of helping them to be successful. And there's so many different things that you can do once you join this business. While you're waiting for your product, you want to stay connected in the calls and stay connected with PPP. So, that just goes to show you, as Nikisha said, you are in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. You have to get past this learning curve so you can get into your earning curve. And the more you stay connected and get more information, the shorter that learning curve will be. So great job again, Nikisha Bond. Thank you so much.
Great tips, and get this call. Listen to it. These are things that you need to know for the growth of your business. And family, it's been a great call. Let's not forget to join Barry Apple tonight. Barry on every Monday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to share the opportunity of TIN and the beauty of being a part of this amazing company. So that's every Monday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, the same dial-in number. Well, let's go out to the UK, and it's Dr. Anita Poole available there with our quote for today.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay, Denise?
Yes, I can. How are you this morning?
I am great. Thank you very much. And great call, Nikisha. Nikisha gives us the recipe how to succeed every single Monday. So make sure your team is on the call every single Monday and throughout the week, because we have the backup to the recipe. We have the ingredients in the testimonials for the rest of the week. So absolutely every single call important, and Terry records them every single day virtually, and they're up on YouTube. So you are the cook. Nikisha and all the others who are the speakers on the calls give you the recipe. They give you the ingredients in the pay. Mel and Amy give the ingredients as well in the products, the pay plan, and then we're the cooks. So, can't cook without taking action. Two kinds of action: proaction and reaction. Proaction is when we make things happen. Reaction is when we react to external circumstances. We want to be proactive, because in proaction, you can make your goals happen. So, some quotes from Power Thinking by Katrina Rando. She says, by adopting a healthy, proactive lifestyle, you can add years to your life and add life to your years. And here we have the ingredients to do exactly that. We have the TEN sprays to be proactive in our life, both with our health and our wealth. So, proactivity also involves, she says, seeing circumstances, seeing opportunities, and making a positive impact when you see those opportunities in a timely fashion. All about seizing the opportunity. Just like our website says, seize the spray, seize the day, seize the opportunity. Just decide, what do you want? Be on the calls to know how to get it, and go for your goals. Literally, know that you are Your potential is limitless and infinite. Just like this pay plan is unlimited, literally. It is limitless. It is an unlimited pay plan. The combination of all 10 bonuses, my goodness, absolutely incredible. So, Nikisha's been our coach for today, and every single Monday, we need to be our inner companion's coach as well. Literally, we get trained, then we need to train ourselves and train our teams. We're like an out-of-condition student, basically. The mind has to tell the inner mind, the inner consciousness, to get on and do what is required. And that's how we achieve our goals. So, Katrina Rolando continues to say, life is not for sleepwalking. It is literally for taking action, skipping, fully awake, and going for your goals. So let's skip to our goals and let's make it happen this week. Back to you, Denise.
Wow. Now, sleepwalking, wake up, family. Thank you, Dr. Nita Pooh, for those posts. And thank you, Nikisha Bond, for our tips for today. Family, join Barry tonight, 9 o'clock, right here at the same number. And don't forget the opportunity, the 10 minutes, this beautiful 10-minute opportunity call that will take place at 12 o'clock. Another 15 minutes. Get your guests on there. If you miss the 12 o'clock one, there's one at 3, there's one at 6, there's one at 9. Those calls are powerful. Get your guests on there. It's going to be just enough to whet their appetite. I want to be more interested in what you're doing. Pastor, do you have any closing remarks before we?
I just say, you guys get out and run. This is the top of the week. Let's rock and roll, and let's have some fun. We'll see you tomorrow.
That's right. Be back tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And know this, family, you are loved, and you are greatly appreciated. Have a blessed day on purpose.